today I want to talk to you about what to do if an employee raises a grievance. Hi, it's Anita Kalra from Kalra Legal Group. I'm the Managing Director of the company and an employment solicitor. And today I want to talk to you about what to do if an employee raises a grievance. So you may be in a HR position, or you may be a manager or the owner of the company, and an employee's raised a grievance. First of all, look at what your procedures state. So if you've got a company handbook or a grievance policy, go and visit that policy and see exactly what it states. If you don't have a policy, then you can rely upon the ACAS Code of Practice in terms of grievance procedures, and you can find those on the ACAS website directly. So the first step is to acknowledge the grievance. So an employee's raised a grievance, first of all, go back as soon as possible and acknowledge that grievance, and then assign an appropriate chair. So if the grievance is about you and you're a manager or the owner of the company, or even HR, and the grievance is about you, then you will not be an appropriate chair. So you'll need to allocate this to another manager in the company that will be impartial and that's not connected in any way with the grievance. So if the employee has raised a number of grievances against a number of employees or managers, then it may be not appropriate to deal with it in-house, in which case you may need to outsource a grievance to an external HR company or to ourselves. We also deal with grievances that are outsourced. But if you can deal with it in-house, then great, because it will save you costs. Okay, so the first thing is to acknowledge the grievance, assign an appropriate chair, and then invite the employee to a meeting. So ideally, you should invite the employee to a meeting within 14 days of the grievance being raised. And in that invite, I would summarise what the grievances are in bullet points or in numbers, and then also invite the employee if they would like to bring in a colleague or trade union rep into the meeting. That's really important that you offer that, because it is a right that they're entitled to. Okay, so write to them as soon as possible and invite them to a meeting. And also ask them for any evidence. So if they've got any evidence they'd like to submit prior to the meeting, then I would ask them to submit that evidence in at least a couple of working days before the meeting, to give yourself a chance. Now, if you're the chair of that meeting, to prepare yourself for that meeting, you'll need to go through the employee's grievance and any documents in which they've sent. And then, of course, during the meeting, you will then need to address all of the points that they've raised. So what to do on the day of the meeting: you need to ensure that you invite the employee to a meeting at a suitable location. So a coffee shop or a noisy location will not be suitable. You do need to find a suitable location. If you're a company that doesn't have an office, or everybody's been working from home, then you may need to rent a space for a few hours. So make sure that the meeting is in a safe, quiet space, so that the employee feels comfortable in addressing their concerns. And then go through the grievances with them one by one and ask them if they've got any evidence. Make sure you clarify any dates and names of individuals. Once the grievance meeting has been completed with the employee that raised a grievance, you may then need to go on and investigate it further and speak to many of the parties involved. So make sure you carry out your investigations thoroughly. In terms of the time frame after you've spoken to the employee, ideally you should do this within 6 working days. Some grievances take longer depending on the complexity of the grievance and the number of people involved. But if you can reach a decision within 6 working days after you've spoken to the employee, that is an ideal time frame. You may also have a time frame stated within your company handbook, so please visit the company handbook for further detail. So you then need to send the outcome to the employee in relation to each of their grievances, and you'll also need to send them minutes of the meeting, so the meeting that you had with them and any other meetings you've had during the investigation stage, you will need to share with the employee. Now, when writing out your outcome, you will need to address each grievance and why you've reached that decision. So the thought process, any evidence that you relied upon to get to that stage, you will need to ensure that that's documented in the final outcome. You will also need to offer the employee a right of appeal. So Normally, company handbooks state that an appeal must be lodged by the employee within 5 working days. That's a normal standard process, but do visit your company handbook. I hope you found this video useful. We have lots of other videos on our channel as well, and lots of literature on our website, which you can visit our website on www.klglaw.co.uk. If you like this video, it'd be great if you could like it and also subscribe to our channel for more useful tips and advice. That's Anita Kalra from Kalra Legal Group. Thank you.